Brands tend to have a long history, evolving from nothing to money-generating machines. Here are 5 shocking brands that were once Nazi collaborators. Number 5. Hugo Boss. During World War II, Germany was in a desperate situation and was very close to being in shambles. Germans were willing to seek out help from anyone, and it was at this point that Adolf Hitler started rising to power. Upon seeing this as an opportunity, Hugo Boss decided to get closer to Hitler and the Nazi Party because he was aware of the fact that the only people who were eligible for government contracts and safety were the ones that belonged to the Nazi Party. Therefore, in an attempt to secure his future, Hugo Boss became a proud supporter of the Nazi Party, and from 1931 onwards, he joined the Nazi Party and became an active member. Upon joining the party, Hugo Boss started expanding his network and started becoming friends with some of the highest ranking officials in the Nazi Party. While doing all of this, he knew if he could become friends with the right people, he would be able to become a prime candidate to design the Nazi uniforms, which would be a big business opportunity for him. Hugo Boss eventually got what he wanted and started making their uniforms for the soldiers, police, and even the Hitler Youth. His growing demand meant that he had to expand his operations, and his allegiance to Hitler made him a ton of money. Hugo Boss had slave laborers do most of his work and would often threaten to send them to concentration camps if they lagged behind. But before we get into more details about 5 shocking brands that were once Nazi collaborators, if you're liking our content so far, do be sure to give this video a big thumbs up. Also make sure that you're subscribed to our channel, as well as have the notification button turned on so you can be notified every time we post a new video and stay updated about what's going on in the world and what your favorite brands have been up to. Number 4. Volkswagen. If you're an automotive enthusiast, you must be aware of the fact that the first Volkswagen was designed by Ferdinand Porsche. But who instructed him to design this car? Well, it turns out that Ferdinand Porsche designed this car under the direct orders of none other than Adolf Hitler. It's been revealed that Joseph Ganz, a Jewish engineer, was the brains behind the car, and he argued that Germans needed this car, so he designed the car and even developed a prototype. The car performed well, but never went into production. The 128th prototype of the Volkswagen, built by Joseph Ganz, is exactly similar to the Volkswagen made by Ferdinand Porsche. Joseph Ganz's genius was realized by many automobile companies, and he even started working as a consultant for BMW, but being a Jew in Nazi Germany meant that he wasn't safe. Joseph Ganz had to flee the country in an attempt to save his life, losing credits to a car that he had designed. Number 3. Fanta. With Hitler coming to power in Germany, Coca-Cola was also gaining a tremendous amount of fame. Through aggressive marketing, Coca-Cola was becoming the go-to choice for Germans. Because of the Great Depression, Keith Max was able to secure lands and factories at a very cheap rate, and once things started going back to normal, even technology seemed to be on his side. Refrigerators were making their way to Germany, giving people the ability to enjoy a cold soda. In his marketing attempts, he made sure he hid the fact that Coca-Cola was an American company. By this time, Germany was Coca-Cola's second biggest market, but with the advent of World War II, American shipments eventually stopped coming to Germany, and Keith realized he had to make an alternate drink. Using the ingredients at hand, Keith created Fanta, which became extremely popular in the Nazi era and was promoted using Keith's allies with Germans. Number 2. BMW. Volkswagen isn't the only automobile company with ties to Nazis. With the rise of Hitler, like many other companies, BMW also saw this as an opportunity to grow themselves. The companies provided the Nazis with rearmament in order to grow their finances. They provided aircraft to the Nazis. The powerful BMW engines were proudly advertised by the Nazis, and BMW started growing very strongly. In order to reduce labor costs, they used prisoners of war and exploited them. Number 1. Kodak. For decades after World War II, Kodak tried to keep their collaboration with the Nazis a secret, but it has become a well-known fact that Kodak has subsidiaries in Germany and across Europe during the time of the World War. The company kept healthy relations with the Nazi Party in an attempt to grow their business. Once companies were no longer allowed to conduct business outside of Germany, Kodak allowed its German branch to grow in a way that it became self-sufficient and was eventually taken over by the Nazis. Kodak started using their subsidiaries in Europe to grow their profit and focus their target audience on Nazis. They provided gadgets to people belonging to the Nazi Party and tried to keep this a secret from the United States' government. When they were caught, the company tried to justify their actions by saying that they were bringing in huge sales and ignoring their alliance with the Nazis.